So what is your menu? It's part of your brand identity. It's a roadmap to profit. Your best marketing tool. Is it your best marketing tool? Is your menu, Emily? Yeah, absolutely. Peter? Well, let's go. Let's move on. It's the order operation. Having the right menu can, I'm just going to read these because you can read, you know what, let's just skip that because you can read them yourself, right? Do you think that they can increase check averages? Do you think I could do that? How many customers do you have coming in every week? Best guess. Hundreds? 500? 1,000? Who here has got 1,000 people that come through the restaurant every week? You got 1,000 people come through. If I get $1 from every one of them, that's how much a week? 1,000 a week. What if I got $2 for you? This is what this is all about. Marketing in your restaurant should do three things only, but one thing in general. It should have people come in more often, pay more for your product, and enjoy it. Let me tell you what's in it for you. What do you think is in it for you? Any guess? Greg, you got a guess? Okay. More profits. How much do you suppose?
Well, it says $40,000.
Well, there you go. There's a guess, right? So between 2 and 10%. If you had $1 million restaurant, that would be how much? 2% of it. $20,000 to $100,000. When's the last time you had a raise? Did you get a raise today? This week? No, you didn't. Oh, you were passing those out. All right, there are 3 things that you need to perform an analysis. The first thing that I need is the theoretic food cost. I can help get that for you, so don't worry about that so much. It's usually based on percentages anyway, and we're measuring the distance between items, not the item itself anyway, so ultimately it doesn't matter, right? Did y'all get that? Let me go through that real quickly again. I'm measuring the distance between items, not the item itself. I don't care if your steak is $12 or $100. It doesn't matter to the system we use. What matters is if you're selling a $100 steak and you're selling a $50 chicken, or if you're selling a $12 steak, oh, I like it darker, it's moodier. Oh, that was weird. As long as the percentage is different, is what matters to the system. The second thing I need is a sales report, unless you're a new restaurant. Anybody opening a new restaurant? No, you're all existing. So I need 1 to 3 months if you've got a point of service system, and I would need 1 to 3 weeks if you're counting tickets. Have you ever thought about your business as a factory? You take in raw materials in the back, and you sell finished goods out the front. In the back, raw materials, out the front, finished goods. Plates of food. That's what you're doing. And your factory has what's called throughput. You've heard that term before, throughput? And if you can modify the throughput to increase RevPash, you are going to be wealthy. If you can modify throughput to increase revenue per available seat hour, Have you heard that term? It's not about butts and chairs. It's about when someone sits down making the rent. You got to pay the rent. Entrees and sandwiches can do that. Appetizers, desserts cannot do that. Soup can't do it. Sides can't do it. That's all incremental stuff. It doesn't carry enough plate contribution to do that. Let's go to the next slide. What we do is we build what's called a matrix, and we break everything down into 4 categories. You have 4 categories in the restaurant. First are stars. These are popular items with above average profits. These are good items. You want to sell more of those if you can. The next slide. Then we got puzzles. They're called puzzles because we don't know why they're not selling, but we want to sell more of them. These are items that are below average in popularity, above average in profitability. Usually they're either overpriced or they're off-brand. They don't fit your concept very well. Or they're not named something correctly. There's a lot of things. Or they're just liver and onions, and what are you going to do with that? Let's go to the next one. Plow horses, or cash cows. These are higher than average movement, lower than average profitability. They're not making you enough money, but you're selling a lot. This is, by the way, where you're making most of your money, in your restaurant. Every restaurant I look at, every metric, I've done 2,500 directly and 60,000 restaurant operators I've worked with across the country, helping them or influencing their menu. So 62,500 menus. Think I know something about it, maybe? What do you think? Peter, you think? Yeah? Are we good? Okay, good.
You're the expert.
I'm the expert, yeah, okay, that's right. So this is where restaurants are making their living. They're making your living essentially where your customers have figured out where you're just slightly upside down. Remember we talked about that brand value thing before, that relationship? Well here, price and function are not really that close together. There's just a little bit of a gap there. They figured out exactly how to eat a good meal at your restaurant and not have to pay you for it. Now you should be angry about that. No, I can't say that because it's your feelings, it's your emotions, right? But you should be. But but don't let me influence you on that. But you should be angry about that. Vanessa, you're angry about that? Your customers are ripping you off. Aren't you upset about that? Say, I'm not going to take it anymore. Go ahead, say it. That's right, you're not going to take it. Let's go to the next slide. And then you got dogs. Put it back in the ground where you found them. They're not doing you any good, and they're not doing your customer any good. They're lower than average sales, and they're lower than average profit. Now, what's the problem? Before you cut these, by the way, what do you have to consider? How long the tail is. Dogs have sometimes a long tail. You know what that means? What's a long tail? That means that sometimes, I've experienced this, 30% of your business might be in dogs. How many of you have a price list? All the prices, right up on one side. Oh no, we got one, that's great. Don't do that. You know what it says is, it says, figure out my prices. Can you imagine standing in front of your restaurant when somebody walks up to your restaurant and saying, burger $6? Burger $6. $6 burgers. Burger $6. What is the consumer going to start thinking about when they walk in? The money. There's a price list right there. Oh, let's see. I'm going to buy $6.99 today. No, I'm not. I'm going to buy $3.99. That's what I want. $3.99. That's as much as I'm going to spend now. What you need to do once you have this all figured out is expand your menu. What I've done is taken the best information that was available from those two guys at Michigan State University that you're good friends with, and synthesized it down to the least number of moving parts, called FAN, positioning, highlighting, anchors, and numbers. All right, positioning. Positioning is where do you look first, second, third, fourth, all on the menu. Let's go to the next slide. That's a single page menu, that's what your eye does. Larry Light is the person who invented this. Larry Light was doing his PhD dissertation in Ohio State University, and guess what he did? He built a retinal scan that would follow your eye to do what? To follow it to see what you're looking at. He did this for planograms in grocery stores. He is now the Executive Vice President of Marketing, Global Marketing for McDonald's. I went to see him a number of years ago and showed him these charts. He goes, where did you get those? I said, I picked these up from somebody in Michigan State University.